Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Awakening Collective podcast. Hayley here, and as always, an absolute pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is September Energy Forecast Day, so I'm super excited to again be bringing forward a few themes that are coming up for me for September for me to share with you guys, with my audience, to help us move through September, to help us use the energies that are coming through and to just put little seeds, I suppose, of ways that we can move through it, move forward, the things that we can start looking into that are coming to the surface for us and how to move through them and move forward. So, the first theme that is coming up is discernment. And I mean, this has always been, you know, quite a big thing that we need to be doing, but I don't think a lot of people quite use it or understand it. But moving forward, discernment is something that is going to be really, really important. The energies and the forces on the planet are going to be bringing it up a notch over the next little while. And so it's really, really important for us to be able to not just listen with our ears, but also to listen with our energy, to feel what's coming through to us and how it's hitting our energetic field as somebody speaks. So, whether that be somebody on social media, whether it be something that's coming through the news, whether that be even just people within your sphere, so whether it's people at work or within your family, we need to really be listening with our energy so that we can hear and feel where distortion is coming through, so that we know what moves to make, where to go, whether to take it on board, whether to not. And this is in all things, okay? And I'm feeling like it's also massively in the spiritual space. So just be really, really aware of when you're listening to somebody within spirituality. But again, like I said, with anything, whether it be around politics, whether it be, you know, whatever it is that whatever the channels are that you like to listen to that, bring through the different information around all sorts of things that are going on in the world, really allow yourself to take a breath and listen with your whole being. And as they start speaking, start to feel into what it is doing within your body, what it's doing within your emotional field. What are you starting to feel fearful? Are you starting to get anxious? Are you starting to get angry? Or are you starting to feel love? Is it making you feel energetically free? Is it allowing you to feel into expansion? Is your body contracting backwards or is it moving forwards? So these are all the things that you want to start feeling into as people speak. And like I said, within everything, even with people who you're interacting with at work, people who you're interacting with in your family, not just so that you can pick up on the distortion fields of what they're bringing through, but also you can really start to hold space for people. This is something that's coming through a lot too within discernment. It's on both sides. So making sure that we are not getting distorted within our field and plugging into different grids that are not good for us, but also so that we can allow ourselves to hold space. So for instance, if your boss comes in and starts having a go at you for something, a kind of what feels like out of the blue, they just kind of start having a go at you and you're like, oh gosh, sorry. Instead of getting triggered by that and going, God damn it, I've tried my best or whatever that it is. If you can also listen with your energy and feel into that with your energy, you'll be able to hold space and feel what's going on underneath. So maybe they've had a really bad morning, maybe one of their kids is sick. And we talked about this a little bit a couple of podcasts ago, but you can then start to feel what's underneath. So then you're not going to get emotionally attached and triggered into an argument or being angry, because you can actually feel that it has nothing to do with you. The reason that they're arcing up at you or, getting annoyed at you or having a go at you isn't because of you, it's because of them. And that will allow you to not take on stuff that has nothing to do with you or that you don't need to be attaching to and bringing into your day and into your energy. So that's, obviously not just with a boss or somebody at work, but with your kids, with your partner, friends, family. The more that we're being able to listen into that and hold space, the better it's going to be for us. So that's discernment, making sure that we're really practicing that over the month of September. So the next thing that's coming up is the higher heart chakra and activation within that, linked very, very closely to the throat chakra. So where are you self-censoring when it comes to speaking up in more collective situations? So whether that be again at work, whether it's within your family, maybe you are somebody who, like me, has a podcast or you have a platform. Maybe you talk a lot on social media. Where are you self-censoring? Where are you not allowing yourself to really speak into your truth on more of a collective level because of you think you're going to trigger somebody and hurt somebody's feelings because you feel like you're going to be judged? We're coming into a time now where we need to be unapologetic about the things that we're saying. And it doesn't mean that, when we're being unapologetic, that we're just spitting stuff out, if you know what I mean. Like, we're talking from that higher heart chakra. We're talking from love. We're talking from compassion and really leaning into that. It's like, yeah, I just feel like we've all been self-censoring for a really long time, especially around like taboo topics, money, politics, religion, all those things. And I think it's really time that we start having open and honest conversations about the way we feel in that. And they're not talking about getting into arguments. Sorry, as this information is coming through, that they're not talking about getting into arguments. It's about your honesty in the grid work around it, right? So let's say, for instance, that you're sitting with your family and they're all complaining about money and they're all, oh, money this, money that, the price of living, la, la, la. How long have you been self-censoring, stepping up and saying, well, you know what, money's actually not really real? Money, it's what beliefs do you have around money, and talking about the ways that you can heal money stories, the way that, um, our programming around money. So where have you been self-censoring that and not stepping up and going, well, actually, I don't find it a problem because, I've actually read this book on, money programming, and this is what I've been doing, and this is the way that we talk about it at home, to sort of break that cycle of whinging, sorry for want of a better word, but to break that cycle of blame and that negative cycle around the way that people talk to each other about these big subjects. So the way our higher heart chakra and throat chakra is coming into this is around how can you, when you're in a group setting, bring love into these subjects, bring a different perspective to people in these topics. It's time to stop holding back and not saying anything, or just joining in the negative because that's what everybody else is doing, and actually speak your truth around how you feel about these topics. So I hope that made sense. That was a little bit all over the place, but it's coming through. Like, I'm channeling this today. I haven't written anything down. It's just what they're showing me. And so sometimes, like, what they're showing me and what comes out of my mouth gets a little bit, I can't translate very well into human speak sometimes. So that's the higher heart and the higher throat. So in this, like I said, actually start talking up about it and saying something different. And instead of playing into it, bring a new perspective to the group. But also you can just do some work energetically in meditation, just focusing on that higher heart chakra, bringing love into there. Same with the throat chakra, and just allowing flow within that. But we're coming to a point within our ascension journey, individually, for people watching this and collectively, that we have to actually start doing. Just sitting in meditation and going, okay, well, I'll just work on my heart chakra and work on my throat chakra isn't enough. We have to start the doing, the being. So you have to actually start saying something, changing something, and doing something differently within that. So that's the other thing that's coming through with that too. So the last thing that I want to bring up for September is there's a lot of Lemurian energy. There is a lot of Lemurian timeline remembrance coming in for people. So if Lemuria is something that's been coming up a lot for you, whether it be, when you're finding meditation music on YouTube and there's Lemurian, water codes or something coming up, or you've been seeing a lot of crystalline energy, a lot of pyramids, either in meditation or like thinking about that, that's that Lemurian energy coming through to you. So the thing with this is about meditation, it's about remembrance. So sitting in meditation and just, even like I said, putting on, like, go on YouTube and there's a lot of Lemurian energy music, and also what is it called, like light language, singing and tuning on there. So I would suggest putting that on and just allowing whatever comes through to you to come through. So nothing guided as such, but allowing yourself to just really tune into that energy, the crystalline energy. There's a lot of water coding around that too. That's why I said the water code. So the crystalline water. So even just allowing yourself to go into meditation and ask to bring forward that Lemurian energy, that Lemurian timeline, and see yourself immersed in water, see yourself in that crystalline water, and allowing those codes of remembrance to activate within you. Because if this is really speaking to you, that Lemurian energy is really coming through to you, it's because you were there and you are part of reactivating the Lemurian timeline, but also holding in the Lemurian grid and clearing out the distortion in the Lemurian grid. So the more that we have remembrance of this timeline and this time in our past, the more we're clearing out the distortion in the energy fields that have been placed there. So that's another thing that's really coming through for that. So we've got discernment, making sure that you are listening with your energy, not just your ears, making sure that you are, because on both sides that allows you to not get plugged into grids, negative grids, distortion grids that are not great for where you're at right now, but it also allows you on the other side to hold space better for people. Next thing is the higher heart and throat chakra. So making sure you're not self-censoring, speaking your truth, and allowing yourself to bring a different perspective to the group, to the conversation, whether that be around education, politics, money, relationships, whatever it is. It's time for you to start stepping in and bringing that higher heart perspective. And then just really tapping into that Lemurian energy, if that's something that really feels aligned with you, so that you can start your Lemurian remembrance. So it's kicking off a deeper level of ascension for you and what you're connected to, what you're here to do, what you're here to bring and harness on this planet. And also to help start really clearing out the distortion in those grids to harness that timeline back here on the planet. So what I'm just going to do before we finish is just pull a few cards for this month for us. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Pop them in the comments, or you can grab me on Instagram and get into those DMs and ask me any questions that you have. If any of this stuff is coming up for you already for this month. But let's just have a quick look at what this exact card came out before. What lights you up? So this is also a month of really starting to feel into your joy. Start really going, okay, what are the things that make me feel good that I'm doing in my day? And what are the things that are making my energy contract? What are the conversations that light me up? Who are the people that light me up? And what are the conversations and the things that make me contract? And this is sort of also going back to that discernment. This is what part of discernment is. If you're watching stuff on Instagram and you're going through your feed and everything that's coming up is making you contract, is like having you tap into that duality, and the distortion and the anger, and, reading the comments and everyone having a go, if that's not lighting you up, if that's making your energy contract, you need to get rid of it. Like, I can't say this enough. Like, start getting rid of the channels and the people that you're following that are not bringing that joy to you and that are helping you to just tap into and keep into more of a distortion grid around awakening and what's going on the planet rather than expansion and ascension. So what and also obviously just on a daily basis with you, what are the things that bring you joy? What are the things that light you up? Is it having a nice cup of tea sitting outside? Is it playing with your dog? What are the things that don't make you feel good? And I mean, I know there's stuff like cleaning and stuff that, sometimes doesn't really light us up, but I think when you get into divine feminine flow, even those things actually make you feel good. When you do them, when you are in the mood to do them, it actually makes you feel better and more expansive because you're clearing out your space rather than going, oh, it's Saturday, I have to clean. No, you don't. You really don't. And I know that we get stuck in, well, I do because then otherwise it's going to be Monday and the house is going to be a mess. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Like maybe you'll feel like, this is the one thing that I've noticed with that sort of thing. It's like, okay, I don't feel like doing it today. So you know what? I'm not going to. But then a couple of hours later, I get the urge and I do it. And I'm doing it in joy, and I'm doing it because it feels good to be doing it in that moment, not because I'm making myself do it. So it's starting to really lean into those ways of being. So next we have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I think that comes down to discernment too, and also, where are you allowing yourself to be swept up in things that don't belong to you? So yeah, it's really setting energetic boundaries. That's what I'm getting. It's about the energetic boundaries, which is again coming down to the discernment, coming down to how can I change a conversation from being one of negativity and blame and distortion into one of expansion and perspective, higher perspective. But yeah, where are your boundaries? What's your boundaries this month? Where do you need to put some of those up? Where are you maybe not respecting other people's boundaries? Just remember there's always two sides to every coin. So that may be something that needs to be looked at too this month. And the last thing is trusting the niggle. What is your intuition trying to tell you? What is that little niggling feeling that you have not been listening to? It is making sure that this month you are really trusting that intuition, really trusting the nudges and following them. It's like so many times, like I have people coming to me going, oh, my intuition, I don't have any. And they do, they've got the best intuition. They're always getting nudges. They're always getting niggles. They just don't do anything about it. And like I was saying before, we're really in a time of where we have to actually start doing. We have to start actually moving forward. We have to start speaking. We have to start planning. We have to start doing whatever the thing is in our physical reality to make the changes that we're wanting individually and for the collective. So that's September, and I hope that was helpful to you. Like I said in the comments, you can write anything, discuss anything, chat to me. We'll have a talk about it, of anything that's coming up for you. Also, I just wanted to let you guys know that this week on Wednesday and Thursday, I am doing a free webinar. So they're not, you don't have to turn up to both of them. It's the same webinar. I've just done it at different times because I know that different people, we all have different schedules. So this is around the 7 keys to the priestess path. So we are going to be discussing that. We are going to look at the beings and the energies that are working with us at this time, bringing the divine feminine energy forward. So there's lots going on. I'll put it in the what is it called? In below. I'm going to put it below in the texty part. It's one of those days for me today, guys. I'm not going to lie. And I mean, at the time of recording this, it's actually a few days before I put it up, but like I've just not been able to make a decision today. It's really weird. Usually I'm so in flow and it's like, what do I feel like doing, this or this? But like I've really been in like, I don't know, do I do this? Do I do that? And I've been really stuck. It's so like, it's been a really weird day for me today, but I will put that in the notes below. So yeah, come and join me. The 7 keys to the priestess path, how you can activate your divine feminine power and move through your awakening and your healing and this amazing time that we're going through on this planet with a lot more ease and a lot more flow. Anywho, love to you guys. I will see you next week and talk to you soon.